Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, wherever you are. I don't know. I never really like starting these videos, but today I would like to talk about this connection here. I don't know what I'm gonna call it. I think maybe there's like a technical term that other people call it. I don't know. We're just gonna call this like boxing in a brick, right? Because whatever, it's called boxing in the brick. So this is a technique I like to use to just like hold things together. So let me show you exactly what I'd be talking about. So as you can see here, there's two bricks pinched between two brackets and secured with a plate or tile or whatever you would like to use, right? So let me go to my current project that I'm working on over here, and let's just open this up. Now, something I do when I build is I like to color code my builds, right? So right now the color coding, I kind of swapped most of it out because I'm not trying to give away too much of my magic, right? Like I do sell my mocks, so I'm trying. Yeah. Anyways, not giving away too much magic here. Not trying to at least, but you can see some of it here. So exactly what's going to happen when I build my mocks, especially something of this size, I always try to run a Technic frame throughout the whole thing that everything is built off of, right? So yes, I will overlap plates and interlock things and stuff like that. But if I could have some sort of Technic frame that runs throughout this whole structure as much as I possibly can, I just have a lot more confidence in my build not falling apart when I order all my pieces. I probably do not need this at all, but I think it's like for me working in construction and just like needing redundancies when I build things and stuff like that. I just can't not put this frame system into my builds. But yeah, let's talk about it. So as you can see, the green here is anything that is structurally important to my frame system. As you can see here, there's some Technic coming through here. This is all also part of my frame system. That system runs through these wings, right? Up here, down through here, and down and around. And then the same thing on this side. And I shouldn't need to connect it here in this part, but I might if I can, but I shouldn't need to. And then all of this frame that runs around goes down into another frame that runs under this. It's like a spine that goes through the whole thing, right? All those things are connected. So now if I what I need is to connect these two sides of the frame that connect to the engines so the weight of the engines don't rip the ship apart, right? If that makes sense, the downward weight of each engine is gonna try to pull this ship apart. I know I'm kind of like overthinking like the forces being applied to the ship, but it's just how my brain works, right? So as you can see here, my previous post, I was asking about like running a bar across this. You probably really didn't understand why if you've seen it, but now I'm gonna explain it a bit deeper, right? So I my I need to get this green Technic brick to connect to this one on the right side, right? So the plan is to use some of these connections, just boxing in the brick, right? So let me just pull those up. There you go. Once I put the opposite bottom bracket down here and here, I will just put probably a 2x4 that holds all those together, which will now make that connect to this vertical brackets. I don't know what those are called, plate brackets or whatever, the ones that step up. And then once again, I'll box that in here and have another one of these systems on this side. Now, once all of that is complete, my Technic frame will be one system. Right now, well, I guess it's still one, but it's split in the middle. There's a split. Once I connect this, it is really one frame. and I will have the utmost confidence in this build not falling apart. Once I put that thing, it's like the you go like you just pull out that one stone and everything crumbles. That's how I feel about these systems. If you ever get one of my builds and you see these, don't take the plate off. Like, do not take the tile. I mean, you can, but yeah, those are important to my builds. You see here, I'll go to my Keber. Um, a lot tighter of a build, right? As you can see here. Um, this build is interesting because if you look at how much interior it has, there's not much bulk in the middle of this build here holding it together. It's really just like empty, right? And the truth is, I mean, this whole build is really just two modular like builds, like one here and one here. And those two builds are held together by four like 1x6 plates. As you can see, this is one of the plates and this is one of the plates. You know what? I'll probably tack on a video of the real life build. It'll be a lot easier for me to show you on there. But as you can see, here's some brackets on the side pinching a hole. Everything on this build is brackets holding it all together. These brackets you see in here is they're doing a lot of work on this build because the weight of these two engines is being held together by these brackets, and also this extension on here is held together by these brackets, right? And then you run the bars front to back, and this build, those are running through those brackets, right? So everything in this build is really being held together by those. Anyways,
Okay, so as you can see here, my Keber, um, like I said before, there's not much holding this together in the middle here. That plate that's in the middle, I'm not removing that because that's just like more work than I'd like to do, right? But that boxed in technique on this build is doing a lot of heavy lifting, man. Like, and I just want to say this is not a light build. It's pretty heavy for its size. It's a solid build, right? Doesn't I'm not gonna throw it on the floor, but I could bludgeon somebody over the head with this thing, and it's not much is gonna happen. I think this came off my engines. That's it. But also, there's more to that technique, right? So I used it on my Jaster's Legacy, right? So there's an internal frame, Technic frame system in this part here, right? And then there's one vertical um lift arm that goes up, and that is connected to this Technic system that goes across the wings here, right? So essentially, I think this is like one, two, three, four different Technic builds inside this thing, just connected to each other, right? So you have your Technic build for this frame, right? The Technic build for the wingspan, right? And this build for the wingspan, it's not even a build, it's just two bars that go across, and those sit and are pinched down by that one lift arm that comes up, right? And then these interiors are Technic frames in there, right? Like a Technic skeleton that everything's connected to. And that skeleton is connected to the beams that go across with boxed in, like I'm boxing it in with the brackets and tile, right? There's like, I think there may be a pin connection. There's a pin connection in the front, and then I box it in on the back. And this thing's solid, not going nowhere. I only have one hand, so I'm not picking it up right now. But that's another place I used it. I can't think of anywhere else quickly that I use it as very significant. But those two, and then now my Shadowcaster will be the ones that did I use it in here? No, I didn't. Yeah, that's it. That's all I can think. Oh, there's some in here. Let me. I think so. Just some. Oh no, I lied. There's none in there. But yeah, it's a very useful technique. It's useful when you want to run a beam or something, and say you don't like you have to connect two 1x16 Technic beams for the length of them, but you don't have the space to add it on this side. I mean, like by using like a 1x6 with pins to like join it, you can just use the brackets and click it. It does have some play, but once you start building around it, it just locks right in. So yeah, that's my tip for the day. I don't have like a clean outro or nothing, so I'm just gonna say peace.